Hey guys, it's Matt. I made this video for people who seem to have a lot of muscle pain everywhere. The kind of muscle pain that makes you go, oh, I want to go running, oh, but I can't go running because my knee hurts here. Oh, I want to do swimming, but I can't do swimming because my shoulder hurts kind of here when I bring my arm up, or even when I walk around, like I kind of get sore feet and like my back hurts, and when I sit down for too long, my back hurts, and like my hips hurt and stuff like that. And it's just kind of everywhere. Like, this was definitely me for a long time. And maybe you can relate to a common situation. You do the obvious thing to fix this. You go to the physiotherapist or the remedial massage, or one of these kind of things that's designed to like help your muscles become more relaxed or something like that. And they rub your muscles, they rub your muscles, they kind of like might, just grab it and move it around or something like that. Or they give you stretches and they say, oh, I want you to go home and do these particular stretches. You have to do these stretches, stretch this, stretch that, stretch this, stretch that. And maybe you go home and you do it for a while, and you kind of do get like a little relief. Like it feels better for a while. You're like, oh yeah, I did this, and man, it really feels better. But after a while, it's just, I don't know, the problem's still there, and you might feel like the problem's chronic. It's just been there for years or months or years or just a really long time. And you're kind of wondering, like, how's this going to be better? You might think to yourself, oh, it's because I need to get like lots of stretching. I need to do more stretching. I need to stretch many body parts for hours a day. Or maybe it's because I need to, I don't know, I always thought like, oh, I'll earn like plenty of money and then I'll be able to get massage like every single day, and my muscles are just going to be so relaxed and so smooth and so loose that I'm going to be so flexible and everything's going to be fine, and then there'll be like no pain. But yeah, I went and did the most expensive kind of stuff called like active release techniques, which is really state-of-the-art muscle technique, and still didn't work. However, I did discover something that's really worked and really solved about, I don't know, 85% of my muscular pain, and it's definitely put me on the way to clear it all up for good. I really suffered for like 12 years or something like that, 12 years, and then just suddenly I found something. I actually found a coach on YouTube. His name is Aero Westerberg. You can check him out on YouTube. His channel's called Vava Fitness, VA Fitness, and I hired him as my coach and just taught me these secrets, and I was like, whoa. So I want to convey a bit about what I've learned, and give you a little tip that's going to help you get the same results. Basically, the message that I want to give you is that the solution to tight, sore muscles is having the ability to be able to consciously contract your muscles with a higher level of consciousness, really directing your mind to your muscles and contracting your muscles and moving very deliberately. And to get you to a place where that really makes sense to you, so that you can kind of take it off and implement it in your life, I want to take you through 3 foundational beliefs for that. The first one is that stretching and relaxation won't work. That only in the most simple cases will that ever really work. The second foundational belief is that pain is not a signal that the muscle needs to be relaxed or like loose or easy flowing or something like that. It's rather a signal to your brain. It's trying to tell you that this muscle right here where it hurts needs to be squeezed and contracted. And the third foundational belief that you're going to need for this to make sense is you might think already that you're moving, but you're not moving. Okay, you think you're moving, but you're not. So let's start off with them. Let's go through one by one. The first one is that stretching and relaxation won't work in any cases but the most simple case. So as I said, the physiotherapist will tell you that you got to stretch. Okay, so there's all sorts of stretches that you're supposed to do, like, oh, your quads hurt, okay, you got to do this, right? Pull these quads, okay, your hamstrings hurt, okay, you have to put it on something and kind of stretch it out like that. Or maybe some physiotherapist comes along and goes, oh no, you don't want to do it with a straight leg. The secret to the right stretch is you know, like you gotta, of course I'd be leaning on something at the moment, you gotta have like a bent leg and stretch the bulk of the hamstring, and you're like, oh, that really makes sense. Or like you gotta stretch your hips, okay? But see, let's look at that and think why that would not actually be true. I mean, the reason why it seems true is because, okay, pain is tightness and stretch is like lengthy muscles, and healthy people who have no pain have lengthy muscles, right? So it seems to make sense. However, like stretching is what people with already healthy moving muscles do to just kind of like, I don't know, just go into a different position and maintain or something like that. But if your muscles are actually tight, then that's not just like a state of the muscle that it's like, oh, it's just tight and then you just change it and then it's loose. It's not like that. It's like your muscles are pulling, right? They're pulling at you. They're going like this. They're keeping you like that. So, you know, you stretch them, you pull on them, and that's why you get a little bit of relief, because it kind of like, you pull them out and they're like, oh yeah, okay, oh, it's a bit looser, but it hasn't fixed the root cause of the problem. So if you just stop stretching for just a little while, your muscles are just going to naturally go, oh, I'm tight again. And that's it. Like, you know, things between your shoulder blades or something, you kind of like stretch those out or something like that. They're just going to, like, they're going to go right back into tightness. You know, you go like this, okay, great, it's stretched out, but give it a matter of time, and it'll go back to not working. Even one physiotherapist who I do have some respect for, he was like a silver medalist at the Australian National Running Championships or something like that. He could run it in like 10 seconds, 0.2 or something like that. He said, I reckon stretching's a joke. Yeah, it's like, just do it and muscle just go back. So you can hold on to that belief if you want, that stretching will work, but it hasn't been true in my belief. It's not true in a champion sprinter's belief. And has it worked for you? Has stretching worked for you? I assume not. You probably wouldn't be watching the video. You'd just be like, oh, I stretched it out and it's fine. Okay. Having said that, of course it does work in like just very, very simple cases. Okay, so second, pain is not a signal that the muscle needs to relax, but rather that it needs to contract. Isn't that counterintuitive? That's why it's so hard to kind of like stumble on the correct idea, because, you know, it's tightness, tightness, tightness. You would never think like, oh, that's because I need to contract it. Okay. What I came to realize though, working with Aero Westerberg, is that the pain that you get, like when you like try to move or something like that and it hurts, it's like, it hurts because you're trying to go into a range that your body just has like no experience in. It just doesn't know how to handle that. So if you know, like to be really extreme, like say you're going to try and do the splits or something like that, like, you know, it's not going to work for you, is it? Because your muscles here, like they don't know how to work in that lengthened state, because they haven't been in that lengthened state. And when you try to move, your muscles have to go into a lengthened state, and other muscles have to go into contracted state. There's a little motion happening, and it's a whole different configuration for your body. And your body, like your brain, your nervous system that, you know, tells your muscles to move, it just doesn't know what to do. It's just clueless. It's like, ooh. And so your nervous system is going, and your muscles are just going, and then you get pain. Now, is that science? Is that proven scientific fact? No, that's just what it is from my perspective right now. But I noticed that when I switched from this stretching flexibility dynamic paradigm, to going, oh, okay, maybe the pain is a signal, and I started to kind of like contract the muscles there, I just found that the pain went away. All these different areas, like the more I focused in on like the very right position to contract it and actually get it to kind of like move properly of its own, of, you know, controlling that direct point, the pain would go away. Okay, so just to reiterate that point, pain is not a signal that the muscle needs to relax. Stop believing that. it's like classic mainstream thought, but rather that it needs to move and contract. And the fact that you're following that advice, like don't use those muscles. Don't use those muscles. They hurt. When I move them, they hurt. When I contract them, they hurt. If you like, oh, well, I just won't move them. I mean, what's the destination for that? I just don't move. I just creep around and don't move like this. And then of course, like your body doesn't move. So it's not gonna have any experience working properly. Now, the third foundational belief that you're gonna need is you may think you're moving. You might be going, oh, but I do move, but you're not. not like you think you are. So think about a sprinter, like Usain Bolt or something. You know, he's really moving. Like his arms, I mean, I don't know how to sprint, but his arms are like, you know, like they're really moving. And you look at his muscles, you know, like he's really jacked. Like he's really using his muscles to really throw his limbs around like this, right? And his arms are like, his legs are like, you know. So he's really moving a lot. Think about like a gymnast or something like that. Like they're really moving. That's moving. However, what we tend to do in our typical lives is we're the only kind of movement that we can really do is like this motion that is very momentum driven, and yeah, that's what I would say, momentum driven, and just like shifting your weight around. Like take a look at this, for example, right? Like, oh, like look at this, right? Okay, am I doing anything here? Am I really moving? Am I? Like my leg is moving, right? But if you really looked very closely, you'd find that I'm cheating a lot. I'm cheating so much. Like every time I do this, I'm actually kind of like going like that, rounding my pelvis, leaning back a bit, bending this knee, right? And if you straightened me out, right, and made everything in the right position, I'm actually only here, right? Looks like I'm up here. You know, you can, because the eye can't quite detect, you know, the subtlety, like, whoa, like you can't detect that I cheated so much. But actually, if I be honest, right, I can and do it properly, right? Like I can only really get to about here, okay? So I'm trapped within this range of motion. So can I move like this? No, I can't. And it's the same everywhere, you know, walking. We don't walk properly. We just kind of like do these like weird swings and like, you know, in Toy Story, how Woody is like, that's not flying. Oh wait, how does Woody talk? It's Forrest Gump, so Tom Hanks. So he's like, I don't know how he talks. He's like, that's not flying, that's falling with style. But like, that's how we walk. We walk in a way that's falling with style. Just kind of like shift our weight. We're never really like consciously moving our muscles in the proper way, right? Like to really move your muscles, you know, you have to have complete stability in the other places, right? Like if you want to just put your leg up like this, right, you gotta have your pelvis exactly still, and just the leg has to move, right? Like, you know, you have to have this ability to move like just one thing at once, right? Like, you know, people do bicep curls like this, right? You know, you've seen this at the gym. They're like, blah, blah. And like, you know, people do lat pull downs like, blah, blah. That's nothing, right? That's not actual movement. It's not, okay? Like, and that's the way we move all the time. Just these swings and this momentum and that. We don't actually move correctly, okay? So, now that you've heard those foundational beliefs, maybe you came to a point where you're like, okay, fine, I need to contract my muscles and like start to actually move properly. So I want to give you one little action that you can do to just start the process, because I found that the very first thing that I needed to do was to kind of like just get initial control of the muscles. Like even, you know, you look at this, like everything's stable, right? Like I'm using my chest and anterior deltoid to just raise that up. It looks simple, but it's actually kind of complex. The very first thing I had to do was just get a tiny little bit of conscious control of the muscles, right? And the very first thing I got was the quads. Quads. And the way I did it was I just sat down on the lounge, and I just put my leg out, and I just squeezed my quads as hard as I could, like really, really hard. And I used my mind, I looked around the different parts of the quads, because there's four of them, right? And I was like, whoa, one of them isn't even acting, and like the other ones are just doing it a little bit. I just started to squeeze it, and I found, whoa, there's all these areas of sensation. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. I just want you to pick a muscle that you feel like there might be a bit of pain in, and just start to explore that muscle. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Squeeze it in different locations, right? And just explore it and start to squeeze it and get a good connection to the muscle. And then you can start doing like different muscles. And then once you get the ability to squeeze your muscles, then you can go, okay, well maybe I can like squeeze the muscle and actually make it move. All right, so there's your action. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like, subscribe and look out for more. Thanks for watching.